Welcome to the Zadzooks Happy Hour, a podcast providing commentary on the latest in film, TV, games, and comics. My name is Todd Stoll, and I'm joined by 25-year veteran reporter covering pop culture, video games, and technology for the Washington Times, Joseph Zadkowski. Hey.
What?
We're doing this a day early because we want to watch football tomorrow. What do you think?
Who's going to know?
I mean...
You blew the magic. You blew the behind-the-scenes magic.
I feel like the magic is gone at this point. We've got a lot of polka playing in the beginning.
Goodness.
That's the magic you need right there.
Who's going to... So, I'm a fan of Minnesota.
I want to see Minnesota go.
Because my son knew the Diggs kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah. His brother went to my son's school.
Oh, that's awesome.
Diggs used to hang out occasionally.
I think
that guy's a freaking superstar now.
Yeah, I just
that was easy enough, right?
How the Eagles have made it this far,
stunning,
is
right?
stunning, and the low-scoring games.
Lose your quarterback.
So, who wins with the Tom Brady issue with his thumb?
I didn't even realize it, and I read about it today.
So, who do you think wins? You think it's still New England's favored?
I can't figure out. I don't know enough about Jacksonville. How did they?
They're amazing. I mean, their quarterback is, he's what RG3 was supposed to be for the Redskins,
right,
where he just could run it and throw it and do everything.
Right.
He's doing all that.
Boy, I hate to go against the Pats, but
I mean, a lot of people say
I don't know how hurt Brady is, right?
I don't think they've really said.
Okay.
I think it's going to be hard to win in
New
Foxborough.
England. That's right.
Yeah. So
that's the problem.
But for me, it's a toss-up. That game's a toss-up. It could go either way, and it would be fine. It's going to be. I think it would be a pretty lackluster Super Bowl if it was Minnesota versus Jacksonville, and I think if it was New England versus Minnesota, that could be a pretty exciting game.
Yep.
But
okay,
this sports radio brought to you by
ESPN.
Yes. So. We watched a couple movies this week.
All right, not really.
I'm still working through one because it's
going to make it really hard to review it together.
That's okay. You can ruin it for me.
No, I'm not going to.
I'm fine with it. So the first one, which we did both make it through, although this is not my favorite genre of movie, but it is yours, is It, the remake from when was the original? Like 86?
You would ask that. I have no idea.
Come on, man.
It was a TV miniseries that I thought was the corniest thing in the world when I watched it originally.
With Tim Curry as Pennywise. Yes. But there was a movie too, right? Or was it just a TV show?
I think it was just a TV series.
Okay.
Miniseries.
That's pretty...
I liked this film. I know you hate horror films, but I liked it.
Yeah, it had a very... I don't want to say splendid creep factor to it, but it wasn't the it didn't do the like gotchas as much as
right. A couple of jump scares.
Yeah, and that's fine, but like it wasn't trying to be that kind of movie.
No, it was more of a coming of age movie.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And it was equally scary to watch Pennywise as to watch the bullying and the child abuse going on.
Yeah.
In the film.
Yeah.
Right? So that was as horrifying.
Yeah, because it's sort of like, what's worse?
Right. The clown's the least of your problems.
Yeah. And now, I had an issue with one thing, and we're certainly going to ruin it when we talk about it. How can you, impale Pennywise and have him retreat, but then come back later?
I don't know. He's some sort of otherworldly creature, right?
Well, he feeds on children.
Right.
Every 27 years.
That's right.
And he apparently likes to dislodge people's body parts because the first few minutes of the movie he's already...
Which is just sets the tone. It's creepy. It's scary.
So it's Alexander Skarsgård's brother who is Pennywise.
Right.
And you can remember him from such television shows as True Blood and in the terrible movie Battleship.
Oh, he was in Battleship?
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
No wonder I didn't recognize him.
It was bad. But he was great as Pennywise. He was creepy.
Yeah.
Like that creep.
Did you watch the featurettes?
Yeah.
Basically, the director wouldn't let the kids see him until the last possible minute
and
when
then
he was going to show up.
And then I don't know if you saw I don't think it was a part of the Blu-ray, but I saw this other special which talked about how the kids were really creeped out by him when he was in makeup. And like they wouldn't go near, like if they were at craft services or anything like that, they wouldn't go near him because they were freaked out. I don't think anybody
would go near him.
I mean, he had the menacing look. I read this thing on Wikipedia where they talked about how his outfit was like very like 1700-ish with like the kind of the puffy
the collar
right. and very old timey, giving you the suspicion that perhaps he's been around for a very long time. Do you think he'll end up being a spider like they did in the TV show?
I hope not, because that so lost it for me. The problem is that's really what's in King's book, Stephen King's book. So you almost have to go with it. I'm sure they'll do a better job of it than using TV effects.
Even just like the possession aspect of things, like the bully being possessed and like attacking them.
Great.
It's just like, these kids can't win. They're battling this evil menace, Pennywise, and now they're battling this kid who's possessed and is trying to kill them.
Right.
And then, there's the psychological aspect of the brother trying to find his missing younger brother, and then Pennywise disguises himself as the younger brother and then attacks. I mean, it's crazy.
And for much as I appreciate the Stranger Things kid, I really didn't want him in this because I know him.
Well, they would know so the last director, Corey Fushiaga, who was attached to this beforehand, and then the director of it, who actually made the movie, they both wanted him. They were like, he is that character. It's kind of weird with the foul mouth and these kids in Stranger Things, with the exception of like Millie Bobby Brown, they're gonna be typecast.
Right.
Unfortunately, I mean, maybe not. Maybe it'd be great for them, but it's almost like the Daniel Radcliffe syndrome a little bit. Every time you see him, you just think Harry Potter. Every time you see, Finn Wolfhard, you think, oh, that's Mike from Stranger Things, not this character from this movie. And it was it was hard to disassociate those two characters.
Now, did you ever read the original book?
No, I don't really read.
As I was fishing around,
sorry,
where's the sneeze button, man?
I'm gonna have to edit that out.
So I was reading the Wikipedia entry about the movie, the book, and it says at the end of the Wikipedia entry that Beverly has sex with all the boys. And then they meet up afterwards and talk about how they'll get back together if Pennywise ever comes back. The end. So I read that and go, oh, come on. That is such BS. Somebody in Wikipedia, they jacked it. Some guy went in there and messed with that. So then I started digging deeper and reading the synopsis of the book. That's in the book.
Yeah.
So they obviously didn't do that in this movie.
No.
But I cannot for the life of me imagine why Stephen King thought that was a rationally intelligent thing to do.
Well, but you remember, she's abused by her father, so I think there's always this sort of mindset that girls who were abused by their father kind of are promiscuous and...
Yeah, but she has sex with all the kids to try and round them up while they're in the sewers. Somehow.
Oh, I thought it was after the fact.
No.
Oh, that's weird.
So it's like during the adventure, the end of the movie, where things are getting...
Oh, that's...
yeah. I don't
Hey, man,
know.
That's a new genre of like adult filming, right? It's
that
like
came
steamy sewer porn?
Out of nowhere.
That's so...
And I knew that wasn't going to happen in the movie, obviously.
Well, no, because they're all... I mean,
but that's the same age in the book.
What are their ages? They're like 9
They're teens, right?
Are they
early
are
teens?
They tweens?
Tweens? I don't know. Anyway, I found that really bizarre.
I think from a visual perspective, it was dark when it needed to be dark. I liked how they shot that. It had some, light aspects to it.
And I love the creepy mansion.
Ugh.
That was so good.
Yeah. The set designers working on that it's like, so impressive. And like Pennywise's lair, or I guess whatever you want to call it, his nest, if you will. creepy.
Did you watch the extras?
Which ones did I watch? Let me grab it.
Okay.
Okay, so I did the Losers Club because I was interested in that. The deleted scenes, and I didn't really care that much about those, and that's about it. And then
You're kidding me. The one feature that you should have watched, you didn't.
What, the Author of Fear?
They got a 14-minute interview with Stephen King about what was going on.
The only one I didn't watch was Pennywise Lives.
That was pretty good.
Really? I ran out of time.
Right.
I had to cram in a 2-hour and 47-minute movie afterwards, so. But
it's interesting on the Pennywise Lives part to learn about what the actor's motivations were. That's what you missed. It's kind of fun to watch him create. He's got this lip curl that he's been trying to use forever,
I know.
And now he can use it all the time as Pennywise.
It's really, really creepy. And so the main boy, Jaeden Lieberher, I think is his name, he's been in a couple of movies with Bill Murray.
Really?
And he was in Midnight Express. I think that's the name of it, with Michael Shannon.
I remember that. I know you're talking about.
Really good.
Right.
He's a really good actor. And I think that was the right move to give him sort of like the lead role. I'm not a horror fan per se, but I it was a very solid movie. I think it certainly brought out the creep factor really well. It was done well. I had a little weird issue occasionally where you'd get like those sort of jump scares and the sound would get really loud.
Yeah.
But for the most part, the movie's kind of quiet a lot of the time, so I'm constantly like fiddling with my remote to like turn it up and turn it down.
They jacked that sound every time Pennywise started coming in.
I know. And it's just, I mean, that's the one thing that I think a lot of movies kind of annoy me, is just that I'm constantly fiddling with my remote because it's like, okay, thanks for like blaring it, but then of course half the time when it's quiet you can't hear anything, so you turn it up because you want to catch everything.
Of course, it's set in the 80s.
Yep.
And yet there's no Ghostbusters reference throughout the entire movie. I think they would have accidentally.
I wasn't going to bring it up.
I knew you were.
No, I wasn't.
But it's got a great soundtrack.
It does.
Love Removal Machine from The Cult, 6 Different Ways from The Cure, Dear God from XTC. That was good stuff to listen to. So overall, I enjoyed it.
What would you give it?
It's a B+ for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say B+.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Good. So you want to take a break?
Sure.
Oh, by the way, it's a hard R.
Oh, yeah, by the way.
Just don't let your kids watch it. It's a hard R, folks. And at a 135-minute runtime, not too bad.
No.
Good 2 hours and get it done.
Right.
All right. We'll come back, and then we're going to dig into Blade Runner 2049.
Communities Digital News, built by the writers and editors that deliver the news 24 hours a day. Visit comdiginews.com. That's COMMDIGI news.com. And support the next evolution in news.
All right. This dystopian future circa 2049. We're talking about Blade Runner 2049. Primarily with Ryan Gosling, but Harrison Ford does show up eventually in the movie. And I'm at the point where he's about to show up.
And I don't know, should I spoil this? I'm not going to spoil this. I had originally thought that this was like Harrison Ford just trying to go through his Kill All My Characters tour.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen.
Yeah. Which is good.
Which is good.
Do you think that they would make another one of these?
You know what? It didn't make a lot of money. It was critically acclaimed, but it didn't make a lot. It made its budget back, I think. No, I don't even think it made its budget back. It was an expensive movie to make.
I'm going to talk about the creepy element that I found just, I don't know why it was in the movie, was the thing where his companion,
holographic
companion hires a prostitute and then somehow like overlays herself on top of it and then has sex with Agent K.
Yeah.
And I just was like, I don't know why am I watching this? What was the point of this?
Wasn't K in Men in Black?
Yes.
There's an Agent K, isn't there?
Yeah, so he well, what is he really? That's LAPD Officer K, not Agent K.
I know. KDS 4-3.7 to be precise.
Right. And he is
A replicant.
a replicant.
Replicant hunting replicants.
Replicants hunting old replicants. The other thing I didn't really get is I thought Dave Bautista's role was going to be like substantial. The way that they played that out.
Right.
He's not in it very long.
No, but he's good.
He was
He's really good in it.
really great. Really great. Same thing with Jared Leto. He's not in it very much.
He's not in it very much.
So,
Which I found weird casting him at all because he was the guy in Ghost in the Shell.
yes.
And he kind of played a similar type of character.
The whole scene with him and his new replicant creation.
Coming out of the bag, you mean?
Coming out of the bag, and then like what he does to her.
Right.
And then that's kind of it.
Yeah.
I think Jared Leto has set himself up to be in a smaller role than maybe he thinks it's going to be now with Suicide Squad and with Blade Runner. He's not in it very much.
No, but he still gets the paycheck. So what does he get?
Robin Wright was in this.
She was
and
good?
Was really good.
Yep. She's a police commanding officer.
Yeah, she wasn't the commissioner, but she sort of played it that way.
She's not Commissioner Gordon.
No, and she's not the commish.
The commish.
And then Ryan Gosling, man, he's pretty good in this movie.
It's fun, right?
I like it.
I'll tell you a story. A coworker mentioned to me out of the blue, so did you ever watch Blade Runner? And I said, yeah. He goes, what do you think? I kind of really like it. He goes, I can never watch it without falling asleep. So
The first one?
Yeah. There's some people out there who just can't get through Blade Runner. It's a slow burn.
It's a slow burn, and I will say this: it's a weird movie. I mean, they're both
Right.
weird movies because it's a really it's in terms of imagine like a cat slowly creeping up on a piece of dust on the floor, and it might take him 20 minutes just to catch that dust and realize it. Things are very meticulous here, and it's very specific, but the payoff is what does it for me. And yeah, I mean, I will say I definitely phased in and out a little bit a couple times, but it's starting, for me, it was starting to just get really good right around that hour mark.
I will say that the movie is not as good as the first one as in the last 30 minutes of the first one are just
that's unbelievable.
It's awesomely cool. Rutger Hauer is just great in that movie.
You see like one sort of pistol, I guess, that he has.
Right.
And you know what was the craziest casting was the main pirate in that movie with Tom Hanks, Captain Phillips. He's in this movie.
Is he the guy selling lambs or goats?
He takes the horse and he scans it for like DNA and like some
but
alleyway.
He sells sheep.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
He's like, I can get you whatever you want.
Right.
But he speaks in French. Which,
cows.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was like, that's the guy from Captain Phillips.
I would have never noticed that.
Glad he got another role, man.
Yeah.
It's a solid. Visually, it's beautiful. I mean, just stunning. Even though there's a lot of haze, there's a lot of
urban decay,
decay, but it's still beautiful. I mean,
it gets really nice, especially in 4K when he gets to Vegas.
Yes.
Have you gotten there yet?
Yes, that's where I'm at.
That's
with the heightened radiation levels and
right.
and the bees and just the fact that everything is kind of like an
orangish,
an
smoky,
orangish,
glowing orange.
Yes, it's very cool. Again, this movie also suffers the same effect as it in that they occasionally go very, very loud, but most of the movie is extraordinarily quiet.
So you're fumbling with the volume controls the whole time.
I wish they could equalize that stuff out a little bit so it wasn't so off kilter.
Jarring.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think in terms of how I would rate this, I would say probably like B-. It's not as good as the first one.
No.
It's great to see Harrison Ford, but it's tough to go back and watch such a young Harrison Ford play this very iconic character and have this relationship with this replicant, and then see a very old Harrison Ford,
who still runs like Indiana Jones. So that's funny.
I know.
So the extras, which you haven't really gotten to yet.
Nope, I haven't.
I would focus first. There are 3 prequel.
Yes, I've seen them actually. They released them online.
Yeah, the best of the best is the 16-minute animated short.
Okay.
That talks about the blackout of 2022 and how it happened.
Okay.
Killer. The animation is so well done. I just wish DC Entertainment would grab onto some of these guys and use them for some of their interpretations of the graphic novels, because it's so far superior.
I know
what they do. I mean, this guy, I'll butcher his name, Shinichiro Wanatabe, really brings this thing to life. It's great. It looks great. There's actually another 50 minutes of featurettes that cover lots of production design and the mythology of the universe, with interviews with all the leads, including Harrison Ford and Gosling and the director and Ridley Scott.
Did you like the prequel with Bautista in it?
Oh, yeah, that one was great, too.
It was so good, right?
Right.
That's why I was so surprised
that
he was going to be some big character.
Right.
Or like have some involvement in it. He's just such a small role.
They made such a thing in the featurette about how they had to age him. I didn't think he looked much older than...
No, I think he did.
He did?
I think he did. He was... what was really strange was that there's a scene where he's very fat. See? Can't give it to me.
Now you're going to have to edit that out, baby.
Where he's laying down without his shirt on, and he's extraordinarily fat.
Right.
And I wonder how they did that, because that dude is ripped.
Pretty ripped, right?
Yeah. But they did make him look, by the clothes that he was wearing, they did make him look very sort of emaciated, and I think the makeup had a lot to do with that. But,
yeah. The glasses.
Yeah, the glasses.
Professorial.
But that whole scene with he and Gosling is so good.
Yeah, right off the bat.
So good.
And then things slow down.
Slow to a crawl.
And it's also got the one partner of Deckard's in it for one scene. The guy in the old age home.
Oh, I don't remember this.
The guy from the who was the commander in Battlestar Galactica on Sci-Fi Channel.
Oh.
Do you remember this?
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
That guy's in the original, and he's the one who makes those little paper figures.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't know his name. What's his name? Do you remember his name?
Nope.
I don't either.
Nope. Not a clue. So, I don't know. I think this is worth a watch. If they say doesn't depend on having seen the original, which was the review from Variety.
Do I totally disagree with that.
And I do too. I think you need to do yourself a favor.
Right.
And invest in the time to watch Blade Runner, and then pop this one in the next night and watch this.
Yeah, it gives you the entire perspective of what's going on.
I don't...
It does not tell you, I will say, that whether or not Deckard's is a replicant, which has been an ongoing question for decades.
I think that it's also... It leaves it so kind of open.
Right.
But how can you do another one of these? What are they going to do?
If they do another one of these, it's Harrison's movie.
It's what is it, like Blade Runner 2075, and he's in a wheelchair or with a walker? I mean,
it'd have to be Blade Runner 2050.
Yeah, I
51.
Don't, or like, yeah, I don't even really know how they would do it. But I am kind of a little tired of remakes.
Yeah.
I'm getting sick of it. It's really starting to bum me out.
Is there another Ghostbusters coming?
There's an animated movie, I think. I don't know.
All right.
They better not touch Back to the Future, man. I will.
They wouldn't, would they?
I don't know. I think they would. Who owns it now?
Warner Brothers? I don't know.
20th Century Fox.
So
Disney owns it.
It'd
be Mickey Mouse driving the DeLorean with Deadpool. Anything else you want to talk about?
No.
We got to watch. You got to catch up on the X-Files.
That's a lot of work. I'm
Okay.
right in the middle.
Season 10, I think you could skip over it.
But I have no reference point to what happened in the previous ones. I never watched the X-Files.
You never watched any of it?
I know basically what's going on, but I don't know
the entire
enough.
set.
But that's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
God.
All I will say is the first episode of season 11, not very good. 2 and 3, home run. It's vintage X-Files. It's like weird stuff and just
All right.
conspiracy theories. I love it. It's really good. So
Are there aliens?
this
time?
Yeah. Of course.
Okay.
Of course. So
Because my big rub with that was there never was aliens. Took forever to get to that alien point.
I know. But when they
Right?
but actually the episodes I loved the most were like the hauntings
Right.
because those were scary.
Well, then go watch Supernatural. There's like 12 seasons of that right now.
I've seen
20 seasons of
I
that.
don't even want to watch it. So do you have a job to go to on Monday?
Oh, really?
I'm just
We're going to
asking.
go down that path?
Are you going in? You got to go in, right?
Yeah, I cover the news.
Yeah. Okay.
I work for a newspaper, not a lazy government organization.
Well, I'm showing up.
Really?
Yeah.
They're going to pay you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then
Just
you're
asking.
good. You're good.
Just asking.
So next week, are we going to talk about next week?
I think we're
Because
gonna
I got some goodies for you.
Well, I want to screen Geostorm.
Oh, boy. That is not part of the goodie list.
Okay.
Groundhog Day, 25th anniversary.
Okay.
I know you're a Bill Murray fan.
I love that movie.
Watch it again.
So
'Cause
what's
it's
different?
Nothing. It's just a great movie.
Okay.
It's in 4K.
But did they add anything to it?
No, it's in 4K.
It's kind of a bummer they didn't.
What are you going to do? Go back and shoot more stuff?
I mean,
Interview the director?
well, he's dead.
Yeah, I know. Cloverfield, 4K.
Which one? The
First
first
one
Okay.
and the second one.
Okay. Well,
But the first one's pretty amazing.
and the second one's not really a sequel.
No.
10 Cloverfield Lane.
Right.
Not
No.
really.
So those two for sure. Playmobil has put out a Ghostbusters 2 line that's kind of involves some multimedia trickery where you'll actually be able to see a ghost, a holographic image of a ghost in a ghost trap when you build the figures and use an app.
So you're looking through your phone to see the
I
figure.
think so.
Okay.
But we'll flesh that out next week.
Okay. And I will talk about Geostorm. Not the car.
Man.
Not the car.
Okay.
The movie.
Watch the end of Blade Runner.
I'm
2049,
going to finish
so you
it.
know what happened.
I'm going to finish it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go buy a used Geostorm.
Okay.
At least it wasn't. What was the car that used to catch fire? Was it
Gremlin?
Gremlins?
Gremlin.
Well.
That's right. That's an 80s pull, right?
Yeah, hey,
You're an 80s kind of guy.
I'm an 80s kind of guy. All right. See you next week.
Okay.
Go.
Stay healthy.
Go Vikings, I guess.
Go Vikings. You're not a Pats fan, are you? Even though you grew up in that area.
My dad is a huge Pats fan.
Okay,
so
well, you're going to have to be a Pats fan now.
and honestly, growing up as a kid, they were terrible.
Oh, I know.
And of course, like
I know.
the team
the Bears stomped them in 85.
It's funny because there were two teams that I rooted for as a kid: the Saints, who were awful, and the Cowboys, and they're now awful.
Yeah, but they were great.
They were great. So
on that note,
I feel like
we've come full circle.
I feel like maybe one day the Bears will make it back.
I don't know. It's never going to be like 85.
Well, they could dig somebody up and
Yeah.
put him back on the field,
Poor buddy Ryan.
or just get an actual fridge.
All right, I'm going to go get some eye drops.